Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles. I'm back to Sudokétudes set 7, which is, of course, the 7th set of dozen puzzles, which are all about short lessons in Sudoku, or practice pieces, or whatever you want to call them, normally focusing on a single constraint, sometimes breaking that rule, and this set is going to break that rule a couple of times, and this will also break the simple a couple of times as we get onto some of the later puzzles. But this is Viscosity by Maggie and BremSter. This is a puzzle where Maggie wanted to play with a particular irregular grid. This was a few months ago before Maggie got sick. Unfortunately, she's done very little puzzling lately. But this is one that was done just after we did the irregular, created just after we did the irregular Sudoku takeout pack. So if you're interested in some interesting lessons on irregular puzzles, it's worth checking that one out. It was the Sudoku, I think it was called something irregular, and it was a bunch of 12 puzzles all using the same irregular grid. And that was a really nice puzzle. The feedback on that was excellent. But let's look at Viscosity. There'll be a link below to where you can get try this puzzle for yourself, as well as where you can download all of Sudokétudes set 7 and access a list where you can check off the puzzles that you've done from all of the Sudokétudes sets. Let's have a look. We've got normal irregular Sudoku rules apply. So we have to place the digits 1 to 9 into each row, into each column, and each one of these irregular shaped regions. So instead of the normal 3x3 boxes, these outlined regions are different shapes, and each of the different shaped regions must contain the digits 1 to 9 without repeats. That's it. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So I can see these 6s are eliminating 6 from all of those cells in this region. So the 6 in that region has to be in one of those. But I'm probably... Yeah, where's the 1 in this row? Because this one is saying there's no 1 here. This one is removing the 1 from those. So this has to be the 1 in the row. 2... No... 2 in this column is similarly restricted. No, it's not. See, I was looking at this as a box and it's not. The region is this. Okay. So what is this triple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Well, that's not a 6. So the 6 in this box is in one of those. That's 7 or 9. Can't see restriction on those. 9, no. Well, 9 in this box is a bit restricted. It's in one of those two, because I can't put 9 in any of those, and that 9 sees that one. So 9 is in one of those two. This could be a law. Oh, it is. It's law of leftovers. That's an 8. Right, this is quite simple. So what am I talking about with law of leftovers? Well, so we know that this is 3 rows of the Sudoku. So in those rows of the Sudoku, we have to put, or basically we know that this 3 rows of the Sudoku is going to be 1 to 9. This is 1 to 9 once. This is 1 to 9 once, and this is 1 to 9 once. Now, normally this would be overlapping with 3 boxes of the Sudoku, which would be 1 to 9 once, 1 to 9 once, and 1 to 9 once. So there'd be a perfect lineup between the 3 rows and the 3 boxes. But that's not the truth in this puzzle. What we have is this is 1 to 9 once. So that is the equivalent of one of the rows. This is 1 to 9 once, so that's the equivalent of one of the rows. But now we've got yellow needs to be 1 to 9 once, but this is 1 to 9 once. So where is that 8 in yellow? Because yellow needs to contain 1 to 9. Well, I can't put it in any of those. It must go there. So this becomes the 9. And that can be a little bit tricky to wrap your head around the first time you see it. But the same thing is happening down here. In those rows, that digit needs to go 3 times into these rows, because I need to put 3 9s into these rows. Well, I can't repeat the 9 in that region. I can put 1 9 in here. I can put 1 9 in here. So there's 2 of the 9s could go into those cells. Only 2 though. So where does the third 9 go? It has to go there. And I can probably do the same in here. I can. I'm going to explain it that way one more time. Into there, I need to put 3 2s. Well, I can put 1 2 into there. There's 1 counted for. I can put 1 2 into there. That's another 2 counted for. And I can put 0 2s into there. So I've only counted for 2 2s. That has to be a 2. And I can probably repeat that one more time with that cell, which must be a 1 for the same reason. And that's going to probably get me started. So now let's have a look at this again now that I've got these 4 digits, which are gimmies into the grid. I think that was the trick that Maggie wanted to put in, just those immediate gimme digits for people who understood this is called law of leftovers, because once you take away this region and the fact that you can't repeat a 2 in here, this is the cell that's left over that can take the third 2. Okay. So now I need to do more Sudoku because I've got more 9s now. 9 can't be in any of those, so 9 has to be in one of those 2. But that 9 is saying not there, so this is the... Whoa. No, I've completely messed this up. So this was a 6, 7, 9, but I was looking where 9 could go in this box and I've already got one. So this is now the 7, which takes 7 out of there, and this is a 6, 9 pair. That was the way to look at this. But let's look at 9s, because I do need to put a 9. It's down there somewhere. Yeah, 9. Actually, that's not as powerful as I might think. 9 is in one of those 2, because that 9 sees those and those, which means 9 isn't in any of those. 9 is in one of those 2, but that 9 looks across saying not there. That's the 9. I got wrapped up in my explanation and didn't focus enough on what I was doing. So the 9 is in one of those, 9s are in those, 9 is in one of those and those. It's not really gotten me very far. Let's look for the next digit under pressure. 1 in this region. 1 can't be in any of those or any of those. So 1 is in one of those 2. This quadruple, I need to put a 3 in there. Not restricted. 4, not restricted. 5, not restricted. 7 is in one of those 2. This is also 4 digits, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 5 is in one of those 2. Oh, this is a 4, 5 pair. Where can I put the 4 and 5 in this region? Those are all filled, and the 4, 5 means not there. So this is now a 6, 7 to complete the 6, 7, meaning that can't be the 6, and that's the 6. Ooh, Maggie did good on this one. This is now a triple. I've got the 1. I don't have 2, 3. I've got 4. I've got 5, I've got 6, 7, I don't have the 8. So these are 2, 3, and 8. Well, there's no 8 there, and there's no 2 there. That's the 3, taking the 3 out of there, that becomes a 2, 8 pair. Nice puzzle. The 1 in this region is now in one of those 2, because that one is eliminating those, and that one is eliminating that one. The 2 can't be in those or there in this region. This is the 2. So these are 1, 3, 6, 8. Well, let's mark. Well, this is 1, 3, 6, or 8, but it can't be 1, 3, 6. That digit, it can't be. It has to be. Can't be 1, 2, 3. Can't be 4, 5, 6, 7, or 9. That is an 8. So this is a triple now. 1, 3, 6. And that one can't be a 1. But this is now a pair. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 4, 5 for the column. This 2 and this 2 are saying 2 can't go in any of those. 2 is in one of those 2. This 3 is taking 3 out of all of those. That's a 2, 8. 3 has to be in one of those, but that 3 is saying not there. So this is the 3, which in this box is restricting 3 to one of those, but that's not too bad. This is a quadruple though. I need to put a 1, which is in one of those 2, because the 1 can't go in those because of these 1s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is open. 6, that's a 6. Because the 6 can't go in any of those. That's 2, 4, and 8, and that's a 3. That's a 6. So this is a known triple. 1, I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, I've got 6, 7, I've got 8 and 9. These are 1, 5, 7, and the 1 and the 7 make this the 5, and this is a 1, 7 pair. The 5 looks up, making that the 4, making this the 5, and this is a known pair. I don't have a 2 or an 8 in the column. So this is a known pair. I've got 1, 2, 3. I don't have a 4 or a 7 in the column or the region. This is cool. I'm missing making puzzles or getting puzzle advice from Maggie. 2 makes this 8 and this 2. This is a triple in the row. 4, 6, 9. There's no 4 there. There's no 9 there. Not sure about that one. Oh, the 1 makes that the 7 and that the 1. So 7 isn't in any of those. 7 is in one of those 2. This 2 is looking back saying that's not the 2, that's the 2. What are these? They're not 1, 2. They could be 3, 4, 5. They can't be 6, 7, 8, or 9. So these are only from 3, 4, 5. Now this one can't be a 5, and that one can't be a 4. Okay. Where is the weak spot? So these are from... Four in this row has to be in one of those 2, doesn't it? I can't put it in any of those. I can't put it in any of those. So 4 is in one of those 2. These are 3, 4, 5, and 7. These are 3, 4, 5, and 7. That one can't be 4. So this is just from 3, 5, 7. That one can't be 5. It's 3, 4, 7. That doesn't seem to be the place of obvious pressure. Four is in one of those 2 in this box because of this. 8. Where's the 8 in this region? I called it a box just then. 8 is not in any of those. It can't be in any of those. It's in one of those 2, but that 8 says not there. That's the 8, which by pencil marks makes that the 7 and that the 9. And this is now 4, 5, and 6, but it can't be a 4. This is only a 5 or a 6. The 9 looks across saying that's not the 9. And this is now a pair. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5 and 9 go into those. But 5 is in one of those 2? Little bit of a ramp up at the end. But these can be tricky to scan, so I'm not upset. Not yet. I'll get angry later at something. I'll find something. 3 in this box. So what are the 4 digits that I haven't placed? 3, 4, 6, and 8. So this is only 3 or 4 because it can't be 6 or 8, and that's a 3, 4 pair, making that the 5. Taking 5 out of there. But now we know what these are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 1 and 9, and the 9 makes this the 1 and this the 9. Let's look at this triple now. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I've got 6, 7, I've got 8, 9. And the 4 and the 7 makes that the 5, taking 5 out of those. Now, rather than look at this, let's just make that 5, make that the 4, which looks like I'm making that the 5, which makes that the 6, that the 4. The 6 says that's not the 6. The 4 means that's the 6, which makes that the 9 and that the 6. The 9 looks down, making that the 5 and that the 9. So this is a triple now. 3, 4, 8. That 3-4 pair did so much work. So what am I missing in this column? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's got to be a 2 in one of those. So this is 2 or 3. This is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's got to be a 7 in one of those two. Huh. Wow. Okay. It is still not collapsing. So this is actually a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are only 3, 5, and 8 to complete this. There's no 5 there. So 5 is in one of those two. This is a 3 or an 8. Something. And these are 1, 3, 7. Because they're 1, 2, 3, 7, but they can't be 2. So 2 is in one of those two, but that's 6 is in one of those two. I'm missing something really, really clear here. Or there was a sting at the end, which is possible. A sting at the end would make some sense. Right, this 1 is saying there's no 1 here. 1 is in one of those two. Okay. I need some sort of irregular logic. But nothing seems to be leaning into the irregular locations. Huh. This is a scanning fail, it feels. Yes. 4 makes that 7, making that 4. The 7 makes that 3, which makes that 2, which makes that 1, which makes that 7. The 2 looks back, making that the 8 and that the 2. The 8 and the 3 means this is the 5, this is not the 5. The 1 looks down, making this the 3, which makes this the 6 and this the 1. The 3 looks across, making that the 4 and that the 3, taking 3 out of both of those. The 4 takes 4 out of there. The 6 looks across, making that the 7 and that the 6. The 7 looks back, making that the 3 and that the 7. The 7 looks up, making that the 4 and that the 7. The 4 looks down, making that the 8 and that the 4. And the 8 looks up, making that the 3 and that the 8. That was really cool. The ending on that had a sting to it. That had a really nice sting on the end, and it was just a scanning issue, but I really liked the way that the irregular worked. It's a very, very nice irregular grid just to teach some basic irregular concepts, which is the point of a Sudokétude. Thank you, Maggie, for the puzzle. It's got my name on it as well because it's just the way we roll. Maggie normally struggles with making a puzzle complete and the testing and everything, so I help her with that one. Therefore, it gets both of our names. All of the puzzles are tested. Even when I make a puzzle myself, it is always tested by Maggie and she makes suggestions about improvements and stuff. But if I do the lion's share of the work, she prefers not to have her name on it. It's just the way it works. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you're enjoying the set. And as always, good luck with your solving.